That's not a very flattering position. It's all upright myself. I was just watching a video about J.D. DeLay with some other fellow. Looks like him, looks like a mini me of him. And these guys are death on pedos, chomos, whatever you want to call them. And I realized I made a video based upon this hoax, this con artist that pulled one over on Candace Owens. And so the Fort Fort Huachuca claim that this fellow saw, Erika Kirk there with a congressman and then possibly Cash Patel, which I still want to believe that because the guy's already bought off. He's no good. Bongino's leaving because of that. At least I hope he's gone for his sake. But I just wanted to correct myself. And of course, I just did that video a couple of days ago, and I don't know which one it is. I'm not going to bother to go through it. I'm just going to leave my mistakes up there. That way I keep myself pretty honest, if I'm willing to show you my mistake and leave it there. But here I am correcting myself. So Erika Kirk, I still think is a Black Widow. I still think that she's in on it. I don't even know if that's really who she is. I've seen some people say that that's Goldie Hawn's daughter. I have no idea right now. I know we're all being played all of the time, and I get caught too. I get conned as well, especially when a woman says she loves me. I get conned. That's all there is to it. I have to remember it's all just a transaction for all of them. It's the way it is. So I stand corrected, and I should apologize to Erika Kirk, but I don't think she needs any apologies or whatever her name is. I don't think she needs any apologies. She's playing all of us, that's for sure. So this whole thing is a stage, and we're being played. And I think it's just incredible that Trump redacted his own name from the Epstein logs. And then another video came out. A friend of mine texted me this damn video, and I pulled it up. And I'll be damned. Apparently, if you take a redacted PDF and copy it, and I guess you paste it into another document or something, it'll disappear the redacted part. It'll take away the black highlight that they put over the words. And they're saying that Elon Musk is the culprit that made this happen because you could only do the redacting if you had the professional version of PostScript. And so supposedly he stopped all of those licenses for the professional version. And so he took away their ability to redact things, and they didn't realize it. They just black highlighted it, and you just have to unhighlight it, and you've got everything there. And I'm not surprised. I mean, Trump is after power, and he's got power. He's after money, and he's getting money at our expense. There's no doubt about that. I mean, a man who walks into that office should not be marketing any damn thing. He shouldn't be distracted by that. He shouldn't be looking at how to make a buck while he's in office. He's not dedicating himself completely to his job. But then again, I have to ask, what is his job? Oh, that's right. He's ushering in the New World Order. That's what you call it. He's putting those people in power as fast as he can. He is executing it brilliantly, pulling it off so people swallow it hook, line, and sinker. And of course, the stat just came out, and somebody told me, hey, we had 4.8% annual growth last year. And he was so happy, I wasn't going to bust his bubble and say, you believe that shit? No, it's not true at all. It's all a con job at this point, and we've elected a con man. He's one of the best, that's for sure. But I think that when Trump hopefully becomes totally embarrassed because people see that the note says that Trump likes nubile girls. Well, what's not to like about nubile girls? They're kind of pretty. I mean, you got to be a little careful when you're a man, especially my age. You find one of them attractive. You know, the way it used to work in the society, and most of you are younger than I am, if I felt a sexual attraction for any woman, internally I felt shamed immediately because it was a sin. Now, hold on. There's a distinction here. And I can't make it for you clearly, but it's in the Bible. I'll tell you that right now, and I've got the best copy of the Bible. But basically, if you linger on that and entertain it and dwell on it, say, well, I wonder which... Yeah, there you go, you see. If you look at her and you find, man, what a babe, she's gorgeous. And then you go, up, oops, and, just correct yourself slightly. At least long enough to see if she got a wedding band on. If she's got a wedding band on, that's breaking the law. So you can't continue on that one, period. And if she's underage, and of course, most of these young girls dress up with this gaudy makeup, trying to make themselves look older so they can catch an eye or two. Or if she's older and dressing up like a child, I mean, some of them like to do that schoolgirl stuff and all that. And I got to admit, that kind of entices me because it reminds me of when I was a young buck. It makes me feel more alive again. But I remember some Halloween dance, and afterwards I thought, man, that's not cool, I mean, she's pretty good looking, yes, and she's dressing up very salacious. What can I say? To get attention. It's like, well, she got my attention. But there's nothing there. I mean, when you take away the clothes, and I'm not talking about naked or anything like that, but when you take away the makeup and everything else, it's like, there's nothing there for me. That's what kind of gets me now. It kind of kills the joy, kills the imagination, it kills the emotion, the motivation. As a man today, I have very little motivation. Yeah, I look at them and I think, well, I better go look that one up. And sometimes it's somebody's been a friend of mine on Facebook, for instance. And I look it up and say, what's wrong? What's going on? Well, they take photographs that don't show how pudgy they really are, okay? And then they take photographs and they don't have their family there or all the children there. Oh, yeah, okay. Or, I mean, I'll tell you what's the bad one is if I go and she's got pictures just of herself up there, then I know there's a problem. Especially if she's got children. I don't think they should put the pictures of the children up there. At least somebody who's interested in children goes after the woman to get to the child. So all I can tell you is there's lots of traps for us. So if you find yourself attracted to a woman, if she just happens to kind of surprise you in the wild, so to speak, and you find her attractive, it's like, that's okay. But if you think about it, dwell upon it, have some curiosity and try to imagine things with her, that definitely is when you've gone into the land of sin. So when I was a young man and I found a woman was attractive, I felt shame immediately. But now I realize, okay, most of them want attention and they're not any good, but they want attention. So I just leave them alone because there's not much that I can do anymore. I mean, I'm an old guy. They're not going to be interested in an old guy like me. Of course, then they try to surprise me because they want after my wallet or they think I've got a wallet. Just it's a no-win anymore. There's no going there. There's no sense bothering. And I sit back and I hear about these guys saying, we don't do this anymore. We're not going to do anything. It's not worth the price we have to pay. The society is biased against us. The legal system's biased against us. And it's not worth it. And I listened to guys say that. And now it's like I want to join in and say the same thing with them so that we can reinforce each other because it's truly dangerous. the idea that you're going to get close to a woman and then she's going to file a false police report against you or make a false accusation or call the police or get pissed off and decide she's going to do some shit on you. So she'll make a complaint somewhere or other. And of course, those things grow legs and they take off on their own. So it's not a very safe world. And there's no telling what a woman will use to her advantage. We can read in the Bible, we've got an example of Herodias' daughter dancing for Herod the Great, and she pleased him. You do know what that means, don't you? Well, she danced for him in an extremely salacious way and pleased him. Does everything have to be spelled out for you? And so that's what her goal was. Mom put her up to it. And what did Herod the Great say? Whatever your price is, up to half of my kingdom, it shall be yours. One of those boastful things. What do you want? Name it. And she went to her mother. Her mother told her, prepared her. Anyway, she said she wanted the head of John the Baptist on a silver platter. And Herod was upset with her choice. But he had to live up to his word and do it in front of his guests. So he made the order. They beheaded John the Baptist and brought his head up on a silver platter, gave it to her, the little girl, Herodias, whatever. I don't remember the name. It's a similar name. Who gave it to her mother. And why did she want John the Baptist? Because John the Baptist said that it was unlawful for him to take his brother's wife the way he did it. I don't know. There's probably more to it than what's actually written in the Bible. Not everything is spelled out fully in the Bible that we find in the Bible. There's enough there that sometimes we can find completed reports elsewhere, like the death of Cain. It's alluded to in the Bible, but it's actually completed in the book of Jasher. That's what they say. I've read the book of Jasher once or twice. I didn't really find it in there. So I'd like to look at that sometime. I really miss being out there traveling and visiting and spending time with brothers and sisters talking about the truth that's in the Bible. There's nothing more stimulating to me. There's nothing more enjoyable to me than just hearing what other people have. The Holy Spirit delivers the message a little differently to each of us. He wants that individual, independent relationship with us. And here we are. It's the 24th of December. It'll be Christmas Eve pretty soon. And this is okay. The weather is nice. You can see the sun busting in a little bit through the blinds, the other side of the curtains. It's a little crisp out there. It's not nearly as penetrating cold as it often is. And I'm not seeing much wind, but don't talk too quickly because it'll come up here probably another hour or so. And the wind here is bitter. Gale force almost every day. The joys of living in a coastal state. So I got suckered in by Candace's getting suckered in, and I made a bad report. So Erika Kirk was not at Fort Huachuca. None of that stuff that came off of that has any credibility at all. That's just the way there is to it. But I'll tell you, if you can figure out how to use PostScript and unredact those legal documents, tell me what you do to command that. And hopefully that works for a while. And I want to know, do you think Elon Musk just... I don't even know if he owns those license rights. I'm assuming he does. But did he decide to pull the licensing and not offer the professional version of it anymore? I don't know. I don't check into everything. I don't have time for that. So I've been several days without practicing my guitar because I've been trying to get stuff done. I know I talked about developing a delayed sense of gratification. So yeah, I've been working pretty hard, and I'm just doing my best to relax. I got one guitar in the shop, and two of them are in the cool of the bedroom, which I don't like because it alters the tuning. I probably should do some housekeeping and house cleaning and rearrange things so I can bring the guitars up here where I have most of the heat. That way they'll stay in tune better. I've had a lot of trouble with tuning. I'm not very good in hearing, but the overtones and stuff come right out to me, and I get irritated with bad sound very easily. I hear the clangs and stuff in the higher frequencies probably better than you do. And I don't hear the real high pitches much anymore. I haven't had that in a long time. I don't know what to tell you. I really do think that we are on the verge of World War III. I think Europe is going to force it. It does look like Russia may just attack Europe preemptively, which I don't think that's going to be very good for our health in the Northern Hemisphere. And we do have passages in the Bible that indicate that we're going to be abandoning the Northern Hemisphere. So if they nuke Europe, and I can't blame them for it, it may be that we have to get out of the Northern Hemisphere for a few years, maybe a few decades. The real problem is in these batteries that are in the electric vehicles because they contain cobalt. And cobalt, once irradiated, such as in a nuclear blast, it becomes a really toxic, long-lasting. I think the half-life is like 300,000 years. Much longer than the radioactivity, the half-life of the radioactivity from a nuclear bomb. I think Putin is still the only adult on the planet. I'm glad he's had such patience and demonstrated such wisdom. The people in Russia, their economy has got some problems still because they're in a war footing. But it's an existential threat. They don't have a choice. And what these bastards in Europe don't realize is that Putin will likely nuke all of them at one damn time, and within 5 hours. That's it. I hate to see those cities destroyed over there. They're so beautiful. But the people are so fucking stupid and corrupt and so communist. That's right. They're more communist than Russia is by a long shot. It's scary. It's scary, and I know that we're going to want to pray for world peace and all that, and I know people are going to be begging for it, but we elected these people to office. Of course, they didn't give us much choice because everything's rigged in this country. We're not a free people. We don't elect the people we really want for president. My God, Bernie Sanders, if he'd have run against Trump, I think he'd have beat him. But Hillary was a real bitch. And they beat the fuck out of that old man. And I don't want him as president either, but I would have rather had him. And then, look, here's what we need to do. You need to draft me. Why me? Because I don't really give a rat's ass about bullshit. I'm pretty sure that I probably can be persuaded. They'll probably try to honeypot me. I know they will. That's all there is to it. But I just have my sights on other things. And I'm becoming more immune to women every day. And I'm grateful for that because I'm tired of their bullshit. But I'd like another nice car. I found one I'd like to buy, as a matter of fact. That would be nice if that dropped into my lap. But I got to buy another thing in order to be able to have that thing. And then I got to do a bunch of other shit. And I'm like, and then I got to deal with managing it and taking care of it. So it's like, I don't want to be enslaved to it. But man, I really like that car. So, barring anybody out there ponying up a half of $100,000 for me to, well, actually, I need the whole $100,000 so I can complete the whole thing and actually treat it properly and take proper possession and take good care of it. So it's out of my pay grade right now. But I want you to go with this idea. The 13th Amendment, the original 13th Amendment, was the law of the land, and it was the last properly ratified amendment in 1812. And it was violated by the United States Congress the very next year in March 4th. And they violated even further when the North elected a bar bastard in violation of the 13th Amendment to the office of presidency, which is why the southern states warned them, if you elect that bar bastard to office, we're seceding from the Union because it's not allowed. And Abraham Lincoln overwrote the original 13th Amendment and tried to kill it and bury it because he was in office illegally, unconstitutionally. We need to return to that. That's the fulcrum by which we leverage this ship of state and bring it completely around. I know others argue it's the money. Don't worry about the money. It's going to fuck up and collapse on its own. We don't have to worry about that. What we got to focus on is the original 13th state. I want you to remember, I said state, 13 amendments. There were 13 original states that signed the Constitution, authorizing the creation of the central government. The states have power over the central government. They reversed that, they inverted that, they screwed us up on that. There are 13 stars and stripes on the flag. Stars and stripes. 13 stripes, red and white stripes on the flag. And I think that there's actually 6 that are white and 7 that are red. Good God. I got to check my own math now. Yeah, that's right. And there were 13 stars. Okay. We need to return to that. Why? Because once we restore constitutional rule, the other countries are going to flock in like crazy, and they're going to want to be part of the Union. I wrote President Trump about my vision during his first term. Never got a response on that because he's not going to restore the republic. He alludes to that to get our goats, to take advantage of us. He's never going to do that unless Yahweh decides to have a call to Jesus moment with him, a bolt of lightning in that Oval Office. I wish that would happen when all those fucking rabbis are around him, and the rabbis would be knocked to the ground, and Yahshua himself would appear in the Oval Office and say, hey, bud, that 13th Amendment, you're going to reinstate that. That's how we get the whole thing back. I need you to understand this. The 13th Amendment prohibited the bar bastards from practicing law in the country. Why? Because they were beholden to the British Crown, and because they stole all of our trust, all of our lives. They have robbed us blind. The biggest thieves on the planet wear black robes. Heaven forbid I have to ever don one of those. I guess I'll ask for a pink one, huh? Actually, I kind of like brown suede and pink. That sounds like a good combination. Yeah, that'd look sharp. Look, creativity aside, joking aside, artistry aside, we need to restore that 13th Amendment, and we need to go after the attorneys. They're not allowed to have any, they're stripped of any and all citizenship in the several states. They're not allowed to be on our land anymore. We deport them all. We tell them, get the fuck out. And we also confiscate most of their wealth since they've been stealing and robbing everything. We actually should take them all into individual protection. They get their individual little cottages with little bars on them and little cots in them. And they don't get anybody. They don't even get their own attorneys. They don't need it. They don't deserve it. We need to put them through military tribunals and see what the hell they've robbed the rest of us out of. And if they work with us, we go lighter on it. But if they don't work with us, then we do what John Butcher said in Henry VI, I believe is the play by William Shakespeare, who was really the Queen Mother's son and attorney, Sir Francis Bacon, who was fathered by a Mr. Kent. What is my name? I'm known as Dr. John Taylor Kent. May Yahweh bless